Hey, what's up, YouTube? So, riding around this weekend, I happened to find a bunch of War of the Spark cards in a small little, like a drugstore, coffee curio shop, or whatever you want to call it. And I figured we'd crack some packs and talk about limited decks and pack one, pick ones for draft if you fortunate enough to be able to afford a box of these now. I got a total of 9 packs here. Let's see what we got. Okay, see. Okay, see Haley Silverwing. So I'm trying to find the uncommon line here. Go. Rebel Belt Riders. Ingress Rampage. Summit Tyrant Smasher. Creature you control have haste. It's a commander playable. Dreadhorde Arcanist. And since this set, a lot of the value is actually in the there's actually a lot of value in the uncommons in this set. So I'm gonna try and hold up my nose. Oh, we're gonna do our pack one, pick one. We forgot. I am sorry, y'all. I am rushing through this. All right. So we got the Dreadhorde Arcanist, Summit Tyrant Smasher, Ingress Rampage, Burning Prophet, Aven Eternal, Rebel Belt Riders, Charmed Stray, Bloomhulk, Saheeli Silverwing, Aid the Fallen, Steady Aim, Oncrop Invader, Spellkeeper Weird, and Ironclad Crowvad. Alright, so Dreadhorde Arcanist is a trap card, in my opinion. You gotta do too much work to get it to work. Samut Tyrant Smasher's pretty good for its static ability. 4 mana, give all your creatures haste, but that's a little expensive. And Planeswalkers are relatively easier to deal with than an enchantment, even in a limited environment. So with this pack, a lot of trap cards in this one. Ingress Rampage is fine, but it's an edict effect. It is kind of removal. Thinking the Aven Eternal would actually be my pick out of this pack. It's a 2/2 flyer for 3, which is fine because it's got the flying, it's got the evasion. But when Aven Eternal enters the battlefield, you amass 1. You put a +1/+1 counter on an army creature you control. If you don't control one, you create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. So in that case, you're getting 3 power for 3 mana, and one of those 2 creature spread across 2 bodies. Plus, you get the flying on the 1 creature. The other notable cards here, probably going to be the Bloomhulk, 4/4 for 4, and when it enters the battlefield, you proliferate, so you can increase your number of counters if you're going to go into a +1/+1 counter strategy. Charm Stray is good if you get multiples, otherwise it's 1/1 with lifelink, which still isn't terrible, but it's a playable card for sure. But most of this pack is straight up garbage. I would definitely go with that Aven Eternal, and I would not be. I will not argue if you think that the Bloomhulk would be your choice for pack one, pick one on that one. Okay, for pack 2 here, we got a Turret Ogre, Pouncing Lynx, Stealth Mission, Vampire Opportunist, Vivian's Grizzly, Sarkhan's Catharsis, another Bloomhulk, Saheeli's Silverwing, Ob Nixilis' Cruelty, Totally Lost. So far, Ob Nixilis' Cruelty is probably our front runner for this pack. It is a fine removal spell at 3. Tibalt's Rager, Leyline Prowler. That's another one with possibilities here, but pack 1, pick one. You kind of want to keep yourself open. It is a decent ramp card, and does provide fixing. And we got Haste. Whenever you cast a spell that targets 10th District Legionnaire, which is a fine pickup if you're already in Boros. And we got Sarkhan the Masterless. It's a decent card. In this case, it is a decent card. It's not the best card in the pack. Well, I still don't think it's the best card in the pack. I honestly think that Ob Nixilis' Cruelty would be better. The Bloomhulk would be better if you're picking to win. And Vivian's Grizzly. 3, monocolor cards that would all be better than Sarkhan, or at least on par with Sarkhan the Masterless. Depending on what lane you want to get into. But because it's got the double red casting cost, so it really kind of forces you into red and to stick in red in this case. But you can't create the flyers. It's essentially 5 mana for a 4/4 flying dragon. Because much else than that, it's not going to last. And the +1 isn't really going to help you much. And whenever a creature attacks you or planeswalker control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. You have to have an awful lot of dragons in your deck. It's a lot of hoops to jump through in a limited game. And whenever you're playing a limited game, whether it's a sealed deck or a draft deck, things to prioritize are always bombs and removal. All right, next pack. Another Turret Ogre, another Ironclad Crowbot, Ashiok Skull. Got a Vampire Opportunist, another Vivian's Grizzly, Davriel's Shadowfuge, Wanderer's Strike, Relentless Advance, Enforcer Griffin, Aven Eternal, Evolution Sage, currently our front runner in a counters deck, Rescuer Sphinx, Saheeli Sublime Artificer, this card actually does see a little bit of commander play on the right build, and God Eternal, Oketra. This is our bomb, y'all. We're definitely going to take God Eternal Oketra from this pack. Would be pack one, pick one. That's about as good as it gets in a limited game. 3/6 double strike for 5, and whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 black zombie warrior creature token with vigilance. If it dies or is put an X out from the battlefield, put it back into your library, third from the top. That's our bomb. That's our pick. No doubt. Game over. And what we'd want to do with that being the case, you're going to want to get yourself into a white heavy because it's got the 2 pips and creatures, lots of creatures. Besides that, God Eternal Oketra, in this case, the Saheeli card could be pretty good in the Spellslinger deck. And blue-red are typically good because it's got the hybrid mana symbols on it, so it leaves you open in either blue or red, so it's either lane there. Other notable cards would be the Evolution Sage. Be a fine pick. Aven Eternal again. And Rescuer Sphinx is also a fine playable card. 3/2 flyer for 4. Because it's a may return a non-land permanent you control to your hand. So you could actually utilize that to take advantage of ETB triggers. And again, Vivian's Grizzly is a decent card. And Wanderer's Strike would also be a little high costed, but it is removal in your white decks. All right, next pack. We got Makeshift Battalion. Contentious Plan. Currently our front runner. Primordial Worm. Fine playable. Kaya's Ghost Form. Could protect your bomb, depending on where you're going. Heartfire. Mana Geode. Pollen Bright Druid. Davriel's Shadowfuge. Thunderdrake. Sarkhan's Catharsis. Merfolk Skydiver. Currently, that's our leading bomb card right there, even though your limits put you into 2 colors. Liliana's Triumph. Angrath's Rampage. And Ajani the Greathearted. In this case, I would pick the Ajani. I would take our bomb there. Giving all your creatures vigilance is huge. Gives you the ability to attack on every turn and still be able to block, not have to worry about the crackback. So you just have to figure out whether or not you have profitable attacks. Other notable cards, again, the Merfolk Skydiver. That's a fine playable card. The Pollen Bright Druid, another fine playable. I'd probably actually take that if we didn't have the Ajani, because it does give you the option to either proliferate or you get a 2/2. I mean, the floor is about the same, but it leaves you a little bit more open. Even though the Merfolk Skydiver does get the bonus of flying and the 2/2, keeps you a little bit more open. And late pick, Primordial Worm would be an excellent playable if you're having trouble getting anything big. Thunderdrake, another fine playable. And Kaya's Ghost Form is another fine playable to protect your bombs or your planeswalkers. Sarkhan's Catharsis is playable removal. Liliana's Triumph, Edict Effects, and again, they aren't that great because your opponent's always going to pick their weakest creature. And Makeshift Battalion, again, that's a fine playable. Okay. Pack 5, Samet Sprint. Martyr for the Cause. Naga Eternal. Goblin Assistant. Return to Nature. Kaya's Ghost Form. Iron Bully. Callous Dismissal. Nahiri's Stoneblades. Band Together. Jace's Triumph. 10th District Legionnaire. Tibalt. Pretty much unplayable in a limited environment because Lifeguide strategies aren't going to be that strong. Soul Diviner. You're going to need to be in a counter synergy, not really the bomb you're hoping to open up. Pack 1, pick 1. This is another tough pack without a lot of good cards in it. The only really notable cards here would be the 10th District Legionnaire is an absolute playable. Return to Nature is a good sideboard card. Kaya's Ghost Form is playable if you have something, a particular creature you need to protect. Martyr for the Cause, fine playable. And Callous Dismissal is, a good tempo play. In this case, being that 10th District Legionnaire forces you into 2 colors. Pack 1, pick 1, I would take the Martyr for the Cause. Because you do have the added benefit of potential proliferation. Otherwise, it is just a fine 2/2 bear. With some potential for upside. But the floor is not that bad. Soul Diviner is a 2/3 for 2, worst case scenario, but it is forcing you into blue-black. Alrighty. Alright, pack 6. Got a Pouncing Lynx, Sky Theater Strix, Goblin Assailant, Charity Extractor, New Horizons, Jaya's Greeting, currently our leading pick. Totally Lost, Centaur Nurturer, Iron Bully. We're still looking at Jaya's Greeting as our pack 1, pick 1. Erratic Visionary. Erratic Visionary, just it's a good card draw card. It's close. It's worth noting. As far as I'm going to go with that, Chandra's Triumph, Price of Betrayal, Kasmina, Enigmatic Mentor. Haven't seen this one before. It's a playable card, I guess, but I'm not pick one it. And Dreadhorn Arcanist again. Again, this card is a lot of work in a limited environment. I can't believe we got 2 of those in the small number of packs we opened. So, unfortunately, this is, again, not a great pack. I would take Jaya's Greeting first, pick one in this case. And then the other notable cards would be Erratic Visionary, and then New Horizons and Centaur Nurturer are also both playable cards for fixing if you need them. And the Sky Theater Strix is playable. A 1/2 flyer for 2 is that's on par. The Pouncing Link is begrudgingly playable, but you can play it. And that's going to be it for... And I guess Kazmina Enigmatic Mentor is a begrudgingly playable card, but I wouldn't go any further with that one. Never really got an opportunity to draft this set, so it's kind of fun getting a chance to open these cards up and talk about them with y'all. Again, if you don't like any of my choices, or if you would have chose differently, let me know in the comments below. Alright, here we go. We got a Goblin Assault team. Ironclad Crovad, Spellkeeper Weird, On-Crop Invader, Return to Nature, Charity Extractor, New Horizons, Toll of the Invasion, Herald of the Death Horde, currently our leading best card we've seen from this pack, Thundering Ceratok, that takes the cake now, Huatli's Raptor, Bolt Bend, it's a playable card, Kaya, Bane of the Dead, it's a sideboard card in this environment, and then Atomic Distinguished Advocist. I would play Atomic right here, and this is actually an excellent card to throw into your to put into a Commander stack deck to prevent, or you can prevent people with land destruction. If you've got a particular player in your meta that likes land destruction, that'd be a good one to include if you could. But it's a 2/3 flyer for 2. It puts you solidly in white, so it does kind of lock you in with the 2 white. So it's probably not going to be a turn 2 play every game, but often enough, I think you get it out there. And the flying is what makes that the best card in this pack. Is the evasion. The other good one would be the Thundering Ceratok, which is a 4/5 trample for 5, but it also gives other creatures you control trample until end of turn when it ETBs. Again, Return to Nature, it's a good sideboard card, and pretty much New Horizons is good for fixing, and you get that counter. Herald of the Dread Horde is playable, and Bolt Bend is a sideboard card. So yeah, we had a rough go of these. These have been some tough packs if you were actually drafting. This is not what you want to open. All right, pack 8. Let's see what we get. Kazmina's Transmutation. Good removal card. It would be fine playable. Samet's Sprint. It's a decent combat trick. War Screecher. That's a fine playable. Ward Scale Crocodile. Again, Good playable card. This is a much better turn of events than what we've had. Duskmantle Operative. It's playable. Wanderer's Strike. Another good playable card. Heartfire. Still a playable card. Mana Geode. Playable for fixing in ramp. Pollenbright Druid. Fine playable. Davriel's Shadowfuge. Unplayable. You really don't want to include that in your deck. Bond of Passion. It's a playable card. Bolt Bend. Tibalt. And Time Wipe. Could be a fun commander playable board wipe right there. But in this case, begrudgingly unplayable. So our best cards, once again, are at the common level. And just about everything at the common level was a playable card this time around, except for Davriel's Shadowfuge. In this case, I would take the War Screecher because you get the evasion. It's a 1/3 flyer for 2, which is actually a fine rate. It's got that bigger butt there, but it's only 2 mana. And late game, it gives you an Anthem effect, where if you pay 6 and tap it, other creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So that's a little bit more worthwhile. So the floor is that's got the lowest floor, or the highest floor, I should say, and it's got a pretty high ceiling on it. You're not jumping through too many hoops to get the Anthem effect there. Next best pick would definitely be the Ward Scale Crocodile with the hexproof, 5/3 for 5. Heartfire is a fine pickup if you're a creature heavy deck. And Kasmina's Transmutation is good, excellent blue removal. All right, last pack. Fairies Time Twist. Grim Initiate. Both fine playables. Martyr for the Cause, another good playable card. Contentious Plan, playable. Snare Spinner. Sideboard card at best. Toll of the Invasion. Playable. Arlen's Wolf. Nahiri Stoneblades. Callous Dismissal. Arboreal Grazer. Playable. Bond of Passion. Playable. Eternal Skylord. This could be really good. At worst, it's a playable card. So this is actually our current front runner, I think, right now. Yeah, because it's technically it's 5/5 body spread, or 5/5 of power and toughness spread across 2 different bodies. And it gives itself, well, no, sorry, not itself. It gives the token that you create, that 2/2, if you don't have another army on the battlefield flying. So you'd have a 2/2 flyer plus a 3/3 body on the ground for 5 mana. Challenger Troll. Karn the Great Creator. Get in my deck. That is a money card right there. That's one of the few good planeswalkers in this in this set. It hoses artifact strategies pretty well in Does see some constructed play and commander. However, this being draft, playing to win, it is not our pick. Our pick for this one is going to be the Eternal Skylord. Unfortunately, that is the best card that we see here. It's not a great hand. Other notable cards are the Grim Initiate, the Arboreal Grazer, and Teferi's Time Twist. Are all cards that are worth consideration. All right, that's all we got for this run. Remember to like, comment, subscribe below, and let me know what you think of these Pack 1 Pick 1 videos. See you all soon.